So today's vlog will be part one of a multi-part series covering American Girl and diversity. Now, I briefly touched on this in my last vlog, but I want to cover a little bit more of this with kind of a focus as to what has led up to this upcoming release of these diverse dolls. Now, this vlog series is not meant to be a comprehensive history of diversity in American Girl from its last 35 years. It's only meant to cover key pieces, key steps that end up leading to this release of this upcoming diverse doll line. And to start off, we need to head back to 2016 and Melody's release. The CBS Morning Interviewer asks the American Girl representative, "Why have you only released 3 black dolls despite having over 20 character dolls produced?" So let's assess the interviewer's statement about there being only 3 black characters with over 20 character dolls released. Looking strictly at historical characters that had been released over years, granted at the time not all of these characters were available for purchase. Yes, in fact, there were only 20 historical characters and only 3 of them were black. Now note that this does not include Girl of the Year characters, which I will get to in a moment. In addition to that, we've only had a release of 1 Hispanic character, despite Latinx people populating a good proportion of the American population, and only 1 Native American character, and only 1 Asian character. And mind you, the Asian character is also only a best friend doll, which means she is basically a sidekick and an accessory to the main 1974 character, Julie. Since then, American Girl has released 2 more historical dolls, Nanea and Courtney, Nanea being Native Hawaiian and Courtney being white. Also at the time, if you looked at the Girl of the Year line, which had been in existence for 16 years, there were 0 black characters. So what was American Girl's representative's response to the fact that there has only been 3 black named character dolls over the last 20 plus years?
When we launched Addie, the universal feeling was that we needed to address the very difficult topic of slavery before we addressed any other experience in Black history.
Okay, let's pause for a second. First of all, the interviewer did not ask you why you chose to make your first black character a slave. She had asked you why, in your 30 years of existence, that you have only produced 3 named black characters. At this time, in 2016, there are 36 character dolls produced, and I did not include Gwen and Sonali, who are Chris's best friends and really just accessories to doll, one which was suggested to be at least part South Asian, and the other one which was in fact another white blonde doll. So how did American Girl then respond when the interviewer asked, why did it take this long, 30 years, to produce a black doll from arguably one of America's most important times in history?
Well, we do approach every character very thoughtfully, so this isn't something that we rush into. We're not looking to address critical demand. We're looking to tell stories in the most authentic and genuine way that we possibly can.
Not looking to address critical demand, yet you've had no problem pumping out all these blonde character dolls over the years. Alrighty. So this interview had happened in 2016, which was Leah Clark's Girl of the Year year. At that time, there were rumors floating about that supposedly the Girl of the Year line was going to be ended after 2017. Now, mind you, this interview had happened in the middle of 2016. And at that point, American Girl had very much already placed their orders in to China in order to get them shipped over to the United States. So, what did that mean here? Originally, all indicators point that actually Tenny Grant was supposed to then be the last Girl of the Year, which meant there was never going to be a black Girl of the Year doll before the line ended, which, after this interview, that was not going to look good on American Girl's part. Now, AG wasn't planning on dismissing modern character dolls. In fact, the talk was that they're simply going to replace the Girl of the Year line with contemporary characters. So the biggest difference there is that the contemporary characters simply wouldn't have the time limits of the Girl of the Year line. They wouldn't be limited to only a 1-year run. They could be extended past that year. They wouldn't be tied to a given year. And also, given the flexibility, American Girl could possibly take more risks. Perhaps, do ideas that they normally wouldn't do in order to be a very successful, big money type of doll that the Girl of the Year line was. Now, American Girl already had at least 2 dolls in the pipeline for this contemporary characters line: Gabriella, an African American doll, and Zi Yang, a Korean American doll. And there's the possibility of additional dolls in this line if it ended up proving successful. But again, it would have been really bad in terms of PR if American Girl ended the Girl of the Year line without ever having a Black character. And hence, the magical switcheroo of 2017 happened, where Gabriella became the Girl of the Year 2017 and Tenny was changed to the contemporary character designation. Now, American Girl ended up deciding on actually continuing the Girl of the Year line past Gabriella. So we've had the release of Luciana, a Latina doll, Blair, and Joss. And so this was where we were at in 2020. And then other things happened in the real world. On June 1st, American Girl had posted this post on their Instagram account about how they stand against racism, injustice, violence, and that they stand with their Black colleagues. Now, I'm not 100% sure if Mattel also had posted the same thing, but they had posted this in light of what was happening in the US. Now, on June 12, 2020, Mattel had released a statement introducing what they call a corporate program called Playfair, in which they're going to focus on building a more diverse workforce, in developing and recruiting Black talent, investing in the Black community, and also offering products and experiences that are focused on diversity, and also ensuring that the stories of the Black community were seen and heard. Now, as a subsidiary of Mattel, American Girl also had posted this same statement on their Instagram account. And American Girl had just released 2 white Girl of the Year dolls in a row. Courtney Moore, a new historical doll, and also white, was already set to be released in fall 2020. And American Girl had already planned on releasing Kira Bailey, yet another white character doll, as the Girl of the Year 2021. And American Girl knew they had to put out the fire before this became another PR disaster. Now, on June 23rd, 2020, American Girl released a statement regarding their commitment to racial equality. Basically, the statement noted that they recognize that as a toy company, they do have a role in empowering Black people and other racial minorities in showing that their stories, who they are as people, and that they had plans in order to write stories and create characters that would serve this purpose. Now, a couple of keywords to note here. First of all, they said that they need to accelerate their progress, which means they likely didn't have any plans on releasing any dolls of color in the immediate future. Now, on December 22nd, 2020, American Girl released a Sharing Our Progress update to their commitment to racial equality, which, to be honest, a lot of the slides were a lot of marketing talk. Hey, we're doing stuff, don't worry, we're still thinking about it, we're donating, we're promoting Black authors, etc., etc. All good, but all for the whole marketing purpose. What was most important was what was posted on slide 4. Importantly, they mentioned that they're hard at work at creating new contemporary characters, and they even bolded it, along with stories that are reflecting racial diversity and multidimensionality. They also were working on unveiling more culturally diverse products, and all these products would be coming out in the back half, so the second half of 2021. Now, there were some debates a little bit about American Girl having to release a new line, essentially, because clearly by saying new contemporary characters, it didn't mean that these dolls were going to be Girl of the Year characters, which, again, if you recall, they had previously done a contemporary character line which failed miserably. So how is American Girl going to market and create a new contemporary character line that was specifically focused on racial diversity in a way that was going to be successful? Well, books are always a start, but there are actually other leaks as well as public information found that truly suggested the direction American Girl would be going with this upcoming release at the end of 2021. And that is the end of my vlog. Thank you for listening, and I will continue this discussion in my next vlog, date to be determined. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Bye.